Dan Illman, Matt Bernier with the DRF Bets Race of the Day from Monday, January the 8th. Third time's the charm, we hope, for the 38 Go-Go Stakes. It's $100,000 at a one-turn mile, but just these polar vortexes and bombs and all these sort of problems going on with the weather have just wreaked havoc with the stake schedule.
Yeah, unfortunately, this thing has been rescheduled and rescheduled again, and hopefully Monday, fingers crossed, knock on wood, everything's okay. At the very least, if it is run, it's going to be kind of chilly.
Full field, though, great betting race, and if you sign up to DRF Bets to play the race, you have a $200 free bet waiting for you. No deposit required. DRF.com/join is where you need to go. Please use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's throw up this extremely competitive field of fillies and mares for free Formulator Pass performances. Head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download those free Formulator Pass performances and handicap along with us as we take the field in post position order. Sky Flower had a big 2017, did most of her damage on synth, but she ran well last time out in the Tiffany Last at a big number.
Hard for me to knock a horse that likes to win races, 8 of 17 lifetime, but the problem is, on Figs, I think she's a little bit light in a spot like this. She figures to be forwardly placed, doesn't need to have the lead. There's a lot of horses that want to go, though.
That's the thing, and I'm just not sure she has the gas to go with those horses. I think she's more of a two-turn route speed type. Now, she has one at shorter distances coming from the pace, but this is kind of an asset. Dorna's a nice horse for Cassie that won the Tiffany Last. This horse looked like she was getting really tired at the end.
Yeah, and that's the concern. Now you've got other gas that's going to be in a race like this at the mile distance, arguably against better horses.
The two Julerettes really come to form for trainer Ben Colebrook. She's bringing a 3-race win streak to the 38 Go-Go Stakes. And while she did go gate to wire in her last 2 races, she showed the ability to rate and finish successfully 3 starts back. The problem, though, that I have for the last race at Churchill Downs is she got just an easy early lead in a race with no pace. Completely different situation here.
Completely different, but the way that you laid it out, I think, is why I think she has a big chance in here, because she doesn't have to go to the lead. I think she's going to be able to sit and relax kindly. The runner-up that day, next out winner, ready to confess, with an 83 buyer. You also had the 4th place finisher earn an 81 in the next start. I don't have any knocks against Julerette.
The 3 Trace of Grace was wide to nowhere last time out at Parks on November the 14th. Finished evenly behind Tiz Rude, who we'll get to in a little bit. I think this mare is okay. It's just when you look through the company line, she's been beaten by a few of these.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she's just a little bit light on Figs as well as class.
I'm not sure what we're going to get from the number 4, Chic Thrill. She's 6 years old. She's only raced 10 times, so she's obviously had her share of physical problems, and this is going to be her first start on the dirt for her new trainer, Graham Motion. The last time she set foot on the main track was over at Tapeta in the Grade 3 Hendry. She ran last, but she faced 3 next out winners.
I got to be honest, for Motion to throw her right into a stakes race in her first start on dirt, I have to view it as a positive. Maybe they're just taking a shot. I don't know what you're going to get, but I think if nothing else, you can look at it and say they're confident.
There's one thing I know what we're going to get from Power of Snunner. She's not going to be on this fast pace, and she can take advantage of this fast pace. Power of Snunner, you look at that record, you see 16 second-place finishes, but I don't really think that tells the whole story, because she wants to beat you. Here's my main issue. I like her at 1 1/8 a lot. I think a mile is actually a little short for her.
I agree with that. I think ideally 2 turns, 1 1/8, that would be perfect. The most recent run, though, to me, I loved everything about it. It was 6 furlongs. She was under the whip for about half mile, basically, but it was simply because that's way too short for her. To me, it was just the perfect, if she's going to get a mile, this is going to be the instance with the pace stretching out from 6 to a mile. Maybe she's going to be kind of tightened up and ready to go.
And listen, good company. Second Unbridled Mo in the Double Dog Dare, winner of the Obeah at Delaware at 1 1/8. From a class perspective and a pace perspective, she really fits in this race. And we're going to see the Timeform U.S. pace projector. We're not lying. Red Bar, fast pace, Bishop's Pond the 6th, the speed of the speed.
To me, it's a little odd that this filly's only been on dirt twice in her entire career. One of them was a victory, and I know one of them was a wet track, and she had no shot in the other one running in the Beldame. I'm curious why she's been campaigning specifically and strictly on turf. I wonder maybe there's a physical issue, and that's got to be it, right?
I got to think there's maybe a little bit of a problem. You watch the Beldame, and again, she wasn't going to win that day. Very late to change leads. I wonder if her tootsies are stinging her a little bit on the dirt. Last time out on the turf, she ran to Penjade. Boy, Penjade didn't exactly come back and flatter anybody. Something must have happened to her. Bishop's Pond, though, I would like her a lot more if this pace was different and she could get out there on the lead, because from a class standpoint, from a Fig standpoint, she fits. I just think she gets cooked.
I was going to say, I just have a hard time envisioning any of these horses that figure to be too forward. I have a hard time envisioning, unless, again, and look, we've seen in the past, Everybody else reads the form too, and you want to get a little bit grabby, and next thing you know, looks like there's going to be 6 of them lining up, all of a sudden 1 or 2 go.
I didn't pick her on top, but beware of the 7. Misinclusive for John Service. A mile might actually be a little long for her. I know
Sure.
she has won at a mile and 70 yards, but my feeling for the last race, that was the Power of Snunner race. I think this was a perfect prep for Misinclusive, who had not run in, what, 4 or 5 months at that point in time. Then she chased the horse on the lead, and she was punching on in the stretch, only got beat a half length. I think it was just the perfect setup for another forward move, second off the layoff, getting back to Laurel where we know she likes it. She'll be close to the pace. That could work against her, but at 15-1, you can use her in exotics.
She's shown, though, that she can sit a few lengths off of it, so I don't think she's going to get too close to this thing and just absolutely melt down. She's going to be a big, big number. She's certainly the one that can hit.
Indian Paint gave a really gritty performance 2 starts back at Parks because the horse on the lead was floating her out all the way down to the wire. It forced Indian Paint to check her momentum and change back to her left lead, but she still got her nose down. Last time out in the turn back the alarm, she's 40-1 against graded stakes horses. Throw it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, she doesn't fit in there. You get back into a more realistic position like this one on Monday. I have to be honest, the long layoff plus this mile distance, a 1-turn mile is a demanding run. I don't know if she's good enough.
Linda Rice is just a sensational trainer, and she's got the 9 Crimson Frost. The question I have for you is, do you believe that 90 Beyer speed figure? Because if you do, with this horse's running style and the form she's in and these connections, she's a major player.
I guess the only reason that I think there may be some validity to it is because, keep in mind, she earned that as a late 3-year-old turning 4. Now she's a 4-year-old. Usually you see that big move. She had paired up Beyers prior to that, kind of indicating maybe there is a forward move, and she has earned an 84 in the past. It's not like it was something just totally out of left field. I think she's probably a little bit fast, but even an 85, let's say she regresses 4 or 5 points, I think she's got a chance.
It was over a wet track, and it's worth keeping the mind on that. Sometimes these wet track numbers can be a little bit inflated. Watching the trip for that race, I thought she got a good one. They were going a good clip up front. She relaxed at the back of the pack, and she ran for second. That favorite, Divine Miss Gray, was just too tough to catch. She gets another good setup here. The 10 is Tiz Rude, and Tiz Rude's last race, she kind of tailed off from a Beyer standpoint, but I liked everything about that nominal or 3 other than race. It was just a really professional performance. There were 4 or 5 horses scrimmaging for the lead with about 3 furlongs to go. Tiz Rude was in between. She emerged from the scrum with the lead, and she kept on to her business. And perhaps most importantly for her, she ran fast 2-back.
I was going to say, the 88 Beyer 2-back, that makes her a player in this spot. She's earned competitive time form US ratings. She also doesn't have to have the lead. She's going to be forward, but doesn't have to have it. Maybe she works out a good trip.
Graham Motion also has Street Surrender, the 11 for the first time. Where is she right now? It looked like she was starting to figure it out for Jerry Hollendorf. I mean, she had the easiest trip in the world in the Southern Truce when she went gate to wire. It was sort of odd, and we talked about it when she then ran back on turf in the Oceanitas. The Tranquility Lake was a disappointing performance. The last 2, I'll completely forgive. 5 furlongs on turf isn't what she wants. She was rated hard last time, and she needs to be forward. That could work against her.
It could work against her. I mean, I suppose you can look at it a couple ways. The West Coast speed coming east, that's always dangerous, but the problem is with all the other speed signed on, I have a hard time envisioning that working out. And look, you're 100% right. Where is she right now? Her past 4 races have all been disasters.
It's also fair to question the recent form for the 12 Winter. This horse won 3 in a row at Laurel, including 2 stakes races, and then took on some really tough competition and just has not gotten back to the beam. If you believe she's a true horse for a course, she'll be a number.
And the problem is, boy, you just look at it. After that run in the top flight where she was disastrous, she's only run 3 times since then. I have to wonder about overall class, ability, and where are you overall?
Line of Best Fit's a cool horse that might be a cut below. She's won 16 times in her career. Last time out, she ran in the Willow and the Move Stakes, and she showed some brief speed before tiring. I think a mile is certainly within her wheelhouse. She has enough tactical speed, but you have to work something. I don't want her to be hung too wide going into the turn.
She was very late with the lead change, and I think the only reason she was as forward as she was, there was no speed signed on that day. You had Miss Locust Point who went out there and set relatively easy fractions. I think Line of Best Fit wants to be taken a little bit farther off the pace. She's going to be able to have the opportunity to do that. I don't know if she's good enough.
Give me numbers as we take a look at our top selections for the DRF bets Monday race of the day. Power of Snunner. You just think this is going to fall right in her hands.
Yeah, 5, 2, 9, 11 for me. I kind of look at it and say, you know what you had said about her to me is perfect. She wants to win. Sometimes she's not good enough though. I know she's going to come with a bid. Whether or not the mile works for her, whether she's this good, we'll find out. She's 10-1 on the line. I would take her certainly at that price, even a little bit less, maybe 7 or 8 to 1.
25 of 34 in the exacta for the 5. Power of Snunner. I'm going to believe that Beyer speed figure for the last race from Crimson Frost. And like Power of Stunner, she should take advantage of a hot pace up front. I think she's got a little bit more upside than Power of Stunner. We've seen Power of Stunner 34, 35 times in her career. I'm going to go 9-2-6-1 in a really competitive edition of the 38 Go-Go Stakes. If you are playing the DRF Bets race of the day from home, why not DRF Bets? $200 free bet, no deposit required. DRF.com/join, promo code FREEBET09. It's a mouthful. Approximate post time for the 38 Go-Go, 3:30 Eastern. We hope on Monday. Best of luck.